Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. So, that was fun. I had things happening with cameras not showing up. And I think I got most of them working now, so that's cool. I'm guessing it's this cable that's actually not plugged in at all and was hiding up here. Yes, that's exactly what it was. Okay. So that was all operator error. I unplugged the wrong camera, or I unplugged the wrong cable. So hopefully, hey, look, it's charging now. We're winning. I was supposed to be charging for quite a while, but it wasn't because I thought that the cable that this was on was actually that camera's cable, so I plugged that camera into a power supply instead of into the computer, and it was kind of a whole thing. So yeah, how are we all doing tonight? So what are we doing tonight is the other question. It's that box. We're putting the box back together. We're putting the goo-filled box back together again so we can move on with our lives. We've experienced many fun things with this goo-filled box. The goo damaged the conductor or the insulation of the cables it was on. It caused issues with the plasticizer oil and the PVC, and it made the PVC hard. So all of the, I'll say substantially goo affected cables that like had the tape directly on them, all of those cables have been replaced. And we're going to be going over everything really closely, see if there's any others. There is a chance that all of the cables have been like slightly affected just by being in that environment. I'm not really sure about that, so we're going to be looking pretty closely over everything. So I think that we're done replacing wires, but we might not be entirely. So that's fun. Yeah, we got all of our new cables that we made ready to put in. We got labels. We should have everything ready to go. We've got the contacts cleaned up because the contacts, I remember, had all those high resistance issues, high contact resistance, and yeah. But I think before we do any of that, we're gonna do a little bit of floor care first because I'm gonna be crawling around on the floor a bunch, and I want to mop up some. So let's pick up a bit. Oh, look at all the gloves that are filled with all the goo-filled cable from last time. So what are y'all working on tonight? Hopefully fun stuff. Oh, and I got a trash can out. We're doing great. Let's move this camera a bit for y'all. Hopefully without unplugging anything. Oh, autofocus got a little bit confused there for a second. We'll just move this to the side for now. Love all that machine tool wire. MTW is really satisfying stuff to work with. I really like it. Hello again, Map Labs. Thank you for all of the assistance last stream with the plasticizer issues. That was some very useful insights. So curious what you think about the rest of the cables, where like the plasticizer wasn't necessarily. And another question for you. Another question for you. So we've got cables like this. So this is, focus this, please. Okay. So that is the actual cable. And this is, I think it's a PVC sleeve they put on it. Is it possible that, so this sleeve did have the tape like directly on it, like on the back of it. So there is like a hard section of this sleeve kind of, or it feels like it's kind of a little bit hard, like right in the middle here where it was exposed to the tape, like the sleeve itself is hard. Do we have any potential concerns about the plasticizer from the conductor itself, like leaching through the cable too? Like can you get that like kind of migrating through multiple pieces? So yeah, that's kind of something I'm thinking about. Maybe we're replacing more of this than just the ones that had the tape wrapped around the actual conductors. It's not heat shrink. It's an anti-chafe. I don't think it's heat shrink. I'm pretty sure it's not heat shrink. It's a UL224. I think I have one piece that actually says it's PVC. RAU-PVC is what it says on it. The reason they did this is, I don't really, this is kind of attached still. This piece of metal here is with the DIN rails mounted to it, and a bunch of the cables go around behind it. So they wanted kind of something extra for the, so that this piece of metal didn't damage any of the cables. And this piece of metal has actually been like really nicely rounded. Like it's very, very soft, broken edge on that. So they knew what they were doing with that. But yeah, the black is definitely PVC, and it has been hardened a bit. So is there a potential that it could also have leached the plasticizer out of the conductor that's being sheathed by it? Here, let me grab a different piece than this one, because this one's kind of hard to pull out, or to pull the cable out of. Here's one that I put together, so. Yeah, so that's the like anti-chafe on it, and then these are the cables that I put in it. And I can definitely tell there's like a little bit of a hard chunk in there, so. Yeah, I guess that would be the concern. Embrittlement of the PVC. I mean, there shouldn't be a lot of vibration. Like this is not a very extreme environment. So like, I guess I'm just curious, like if you have a like, I guess can the plasticizer like move through like two pieces of PVC? I guess it could if the PVC is just touching. Yeah, and the vibration, like, I mean, this thing's really only going to experience vibration when it's moving. And even then, it's not going to be that severe. So I think we're fine. I think even if it's a little bit hard, it's ultimately not gonna crack. It had to be pretty hard, I think, for this part to crack. But this isn't something that's like constantly being flexed. Okay. Cool. Well, I think we're gonna keep moving forwards here. It's the plan right now. Yeah, and we definitely took care of the parts that were the absolute worst, and the parts that were the worst were the was where the tape was in direct contact with the insulation of the actual conductor, not this anti-chafe sheathing. Oh look, we still have a piece with the goo on it. That's lovely. You want a sample? I have a sample. I think these are all extras now. Let's see here. Yeah, A1 minus. Yeah, we've already rebuilt that piece. Cool. We're just gonna set these aside. Yeah, the ones that I replaced were where it was like hard on a place that was like where the bend was, because I felt like that actually might experience some strain. And in the straight sections and that where it could be a little bit hard but not very hard, I'm not nearly as worried about it as where it's like a 90-degree bend going into the contactor and being pushed up against something. Yeah, exactly. I pulled the wherever it was like hard right by the terminal is where I ended up replacing, because it seemed like it was pulling on the connector a lot more. So. Okay, should we use the fancy mopping machine or just a regular flat mop? I think we'll just do a regular flat mop. Although I could get the fancy mopping machine out. Although it does need new pickup squeegees, so it is going to leave a... So I would end up like flat mopping afterwards anyways. Let's put some DI water on our flat mop. If y'all have not heard of or are not using microfiber flat mops, I cannot recommend them highly enough. They are absolute magic. Definitely the superior mopping system, especially compared to like string mops. So these flat mops leave a lot less moisture behind, and they keep all of the dirt on the leading edge. And you know, the moisture contains whatever your contaminant is, right? So leaving less moisture behind leaves less contaminant behind. So when you're using like string mops and they're still leaving the floor pretty wet, that's leaving a lot of gunk on the floor still. And the mopping machine I have, it puts down a lot of water, but it's got a squeegee machine on the back. So it picks up all the water, so it picks up all the contaminant with it too. So that really gets the floors clean. Someday we'll do a floor care live stream where I get the buffing machine out. I scored a 1500 RPM 24-inch floor buffer, and that thing is fun to use. It's got a current meter on it, so basically you set the contact force between the buffing wheel and the floor based on drawing like exactly as much current as you can from the breaker before the breaker would be expected to trip. Which I just think is entertaining. Like that's floor care equipment is always so sketchy when it comes to how they use power. They're like, oh, recommended 80% maximum load, or only use 80% of what the circuit breaker allows you to. Nah, we'll just use 100. Or my favorite, clipping it directly into the breaker panel. Just clipping it into the bus bars. That's so common that people do that with floor care equipment, because they want the machine to be able to do as much work on the floor as possible. Okay, and this is also to pick up after all the like little copper pieces we generated last time, cutting and terminating wires. So I can be pretty assured I'm not going to stab myself crawling around on the floor today too. So cool. I think that's pretty much going to conclude the floor care part of this stream. I always love starting with a clean floor. Bidirectional diffusion between different cables. Wow, I've never thought about PVC cables this way. This is fascinating. Yeah, fatigue studies are fun. You build like little machines or little robots to like repeatedly fatigue the cables. It's kind of entertaining, I think. Okay. Well, now that we got a clean place to start, get that down there. Let's get a tripod out, back out. I really like these tripods that have the extra little articulating piece here, so you can like really get the camera kind of like right in wherever you're working. Also good for a top-down camera rig. Pretty great. So this one, I put the legs down real low like this. And then I have kind of the neck sticking out. And so this is what I use to kind of get the camera like right in there when I'm working. And it's also got another pivot point here, so this part can rotate around as well. Let's see how the iPad's charging. Oh, it's turning on now, that's good. Love that for us. Okay, let's get let's see here. Let's do that one. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That one's overexposed. 50,000 bend cycles. They should do that as phone chargers more frequently. I think they do. They do. It seems like you always see like Anchor or Monoprice. So I feel like they sometimes they claim bend cycles, but it never feels like they actually survive that many bend cycles. So. Oh, and we lost a camera. Okay, we'll get that back in a sec here. Hello. Let's bring the cart back over. I had some, this is like an oscilloscope cart. I had some that were this, but they were Tektronix carts. This is a flute cart, and I really like it. The Tech ones were more adjustable, but I mean, I can still change the angle on this one. But I think this one's, it feels more solid. I like the casters better. Lot of high frequency signals to manage in an ultrasound, I bet. Okay, I think we got our camera set up. Oh, let me get this screen over there so I can see it while I'm working down there. Let's see how spicy this decides to be tonight. Is it just gonna work? Wow, I think it just worked. For working the first try, that only happened the first time I did this. Every other time it's been such a pain. Oh, there we go, now it's confused. There we go, okay. That actually wasn't that bad. That pretty much just worked. Hey, look at that. Cool. And then how does audio sound tonight? Does it all sound good? Last stream I started the stream without any audio, so I've been thinking about that. 46 megahertz transducer, that's 46 megahertz. So does that refer to the acoustic frequency? Like it's, so if the transducer, like, that, okay, interesting. Okay, I'd love to hear the audio sounds good. Well, I think let's start looking at this. I think I got all my tools I need or will need here. Let me see what's going on with this camera. This doesn't look like auto exposure is doing good things. If I just tilt it down, does it expose better? Nope. Okay. I need to low G tune. And I launch the application, it just instantly looks better. Okay, so we'll just leave that application running. That should be fine. Cool. Okay. I think we're ready here. So much nicer to start with a clean space. Now the hard part is actually cleaning up these carts when I'm done with any particular setup. And cleaning them up before I want to use them for something else. So where shall we start? Oh, that's interesting. That the cable twist is what responsible for making it stay in tension and compression, or balancing that. Okay, so we got a pile of parts here. We have a box, and then we also have a let's see here. Okay, and we also have a bin of screws. So this should pretty much be everything we need to put this back together. And then let's see here. Because that should be 2 for the cover, yep, and then 4 for that, yep. And cool. Let's see here, can you move that because we don't need that right now. So, oh, there it all goes. Okay. So we could try to mostly assemble this DIN rail kind of while it's outside. So we could put all of our devices back on here. And then we could put this all in, or we could put this in with all the cables behind it and then try to assemble. I think it's going to be easiest to assemble this while it's outside of the enclosure and then install it as one unit. So let's move our subwoofer table a bit closer back in here so we can use it as a table. Figuring out how to untangle this long chain of DIN devices we've got out here. Let's see here. So those go, I know that these go on the very end. Okay, so these go on like that. Okay, we're starting to get this thing making more sense. Wow, that was just tangled up in there and hanging out. So I think I got this. Yep, okay, so this panel here is pretty much in the orientation it's going to be in. This thing is going to kind of twist around some. So let's get that twist into all our cables now. Speaking of cable twist. Okay, there, so that's going to go in like that, and that kind of comes up or down like that. Okay, so let's start with our contactors. Let's get K1, K2 back in. So this is K1, so K1 is still kind of partially assembled. So we'll get K1 on. I'm going to lift you all up a little bit here. Get kind of a top-down view on what I'm doing. Get some good pictures of what we're doing too. Okay. Oh, and we're drooping. Oh. That is, I can see the level. There we go. Okay, so contactor K1. Oh, that really locks in there when that metal, so there's a metal spring in the back that kind of holds this on. And that metal spring, it really locks the horizontal position in. Oh, okay, I can kind of move it. Okay, we got that lined up right with the end, which is how it was. So now that that's back, we can put the K1 coil contact in. So that's the K1 coil contact right there. And we can bring K2 in. Okay, there's K2. And then we can put in A1, A2, or A1, K3. So A1 is our 24-volt DC power supply, and K3 is our safety circuit controller. If you haven't looked into how safety circuit relay controllers work, they're pretty cool. They've got a lot of internal fault detection, and they've got like at least like 2 sets of contacts on each of the. They got 2 sets of contacts everywhere basically, and they can detect if one of them doesn't open or doesn't close. And they got monitoring circuits on everything, so yeah, they're pretty neat. Okay, so this is our K1 cover. So we didn't put this K1 cover on earlier because we had the K1 contacts, the K1 coil contact pulled out. And the way that this works is so those parts right there get covered by this cover. And so that's what holds the coil contacts in. So I think we're ready to close this up now. There we go. That's, well, almost sitting how we want. There's a little bit more of a gap on that back side than we would like. So let's see if we can see what's going on there. Is that what's going on? There we go. There's some little tabs on the back of this piece that needed to go in that weren't quite lined up. So those are all lined up now. That's all flush. So we can get the screws back in that. Let's grab our driver, grab some bits. Throw that in. Throw that in. Let's go with a flathead. Give me an easier time. I want to see if I can line those threads up. There we go. That feels good. Cool. So that contact's all back together now, our contactor. Okay, let's do some wiring. So those are going to be last. So let's do our K1. Let's do this set. So this is one of the ones we made last stream. So this is what goes from the bottom of K1 to the top of K2. So basically everywhere in this safety circuit, you've got 2 contacts. So on the control side, there's 2 contacts in series inside of our safety relay controller. And then on the contactor side, there's also 2 contactors in series. And then if there's a fault and they're like stay in opposite states, the NC circuits, because those are also physically tied to the contact actuators, the NC circuits interrupt your ability to reset the safety circuit via the start button. And all this is mandated by the, what is it? It's not the is it Semistar? What am I thinking of? I should have looked it up before I started the stream. So let's do K1, K2. So we'll get these opened up. So K1, T1, K2, T2, or sorry, K1, T1, K1, T2. We need to get a heat gun out. Getting these torqued down. Should get a torque screwdriver, that'd be fun. Take the opportunity to check the torque on these ones right here. Oh yeah, these are pretty good. And that one left a little bit to be desired, but it wasn't bad. So just an interesting note for you all. These Siemens breakers, green is safe and off, and red with these up is on and hot and unsafe. So sometimes you'll be like, oh, the breaker's green, it's on. No, 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 the breaker is green, it's safe, it's off. Yeah, so that's down is off, up is on, red is on, green is off. So just an interesting note for you all. Okay, that's not Joel things, that's LabCorp things. That's definitely LabCorp things. Okay, so these come up behind now. Let's put these behind those ones. I like that better. Okay, so that's K2, L1, K2, L2, L1, L2. That's looking good. For all those of you who like microscope posters, Joel has dropped some new TEM posters and a new EDS spectrum poster. So if you've got the black poster, they now have a new white one. And the 120i and the Grand Arm 300 posters are really cool in terms of how many optics they show inside the microscope. I like them a lot better than the 1400 posters. There we go. So that's K2, A1. Let's get our drawing out while we're doing this. Here, I'll change the stream settings so that we can see that on screen. There we go. Yeah. I love the old Joel posters. When I requested the posters from them this time, I also asked if they have any older ones they can give me too. So here's hoping. Okay, what do we want? We want that one? Yeah, and then we need to change some cables around. Okay, let's see here. Is that one in the folder? 2025, 1204. $1204, 220951. Yep. So that can go to the trash. 25, 1204, 22, 1212. Yep, trash that. 25, 1204, 22, 1407. Yep, trash that. 25, 1204, 23, 1832, 23, 1832. Yep. 2025, 1205. I'm cleaning up the files from previous streams so we don't run out of capacity on the computer on this one. And I did copy them before the stream, but I forgot to actually delete them after copying them. So I am taking care of that now. And 2025, 1206, 22, 24, 13. And then do we get 2025, 1204, 22, 48, 10? $2025, 1204, 22, 48, 10. Yep, we do. Okay, cool. And empty. Yep. Okay, now we got enough space for the stream. Cool. Hashtag 5200. Oh, we're at the 5200 squad here. Maybe you do want to join the 5200 squad, Maria. You'll certainly learn a lot from that microscope. You'll learn a lot about how bad the microscope is. It's not that bad. It could be better. New electronics, and that thing's going to be great. The column's decent. It's not bad for what it is. I have thoughts about the vacuum valves, but they were cheap to make, so, you know. Okay. A bypass interlock with a magnet. I mean, a lot of sectioning saws don't even come with like lids, so. We never actually got the iPad working, did we? Nice. Let me change some settings on this real quick. Just to turn the screen timeout on, off. No, it's not screen, it's lock time. Right? Yeah, auto lock. No, that's not it. Okay, auto lock's off. Whatever. Okay, let's move cables around. Okay, because the whole point of deleting the stuff was so that I could unplug the hard drive and then plug this in. And then the iPad should just magically show up. Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe I gotta unplug it, plug it back in. Okay, that should be ready to go now. Yeah? Maybe? What did we do that fixed this last time? Because it did this same thing last time too. It just like, last time, it just seems like it started randomly working last time. Maybe try toggling devices. Because it's showing up, it thinks it's there. Hey, there we go. Okay, well, it works now. I don't know why it wasn't working, but it works now. That's what matters, right? Is that it works now? No need to have any understanding of why it's working now and why it wasn't working earlier. Who cares about such things? Okay, so now we got this out so we can check our work as we do it. So let's just make a copy of this. And then we can just start to mark off areas that we have done and checked. So we know we've done, so K1, T1, K1, T2, done those. L1, L2. Be happy with the torque on those. K2, L1, K2, L2. Okay, those are done. Let's check F1, F2. Okay, we checked that, we've checked that. Let's check this. Okay, that's good, that's good. We haven't made K1, L1, L2 yet because that won't be made till we get it back in the box. Okay, and then we were gonna do K2A1. Here, let me actually label what A1 is because I didn't do that. Because I just labeled it plus. So that's A1, that's A2. And then the NC contacts are, I forgot a piece. I forgot a piece of the contactor. That goes back inside of there. Okay, let's pull that contactor apart a little bit. This is gonna be pretty fast. This is, oh, we have to take the cables that we put into it out. I think. Do we? I don't actually know. Let's find out. We might not have to. So we're gonna be able to pull this out partially. Nope, we gotta pull those out. I need to get the charger for this out in a sec. Okay, so now we can pull that out, and with that pulled out, we can put in the part we forgot, which is this little cover, the labels on it. Oh, I'll get that camera in just a second. Okay, there we go. That's that part put back together. And I should have unchecked the cables that we had previously checked. Actually, we're going to take a chance to reroute this, I think. Yeah, we'll reroute this. We'll go underneath these. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got all those back in. Okay, there we go. Let's get these connections remade. Make sure this is all flat. It is. Okay, got those back together. Okay, so I think we're back to where we were. So that's good. Let's check on that. Yep, we're back to where we were. Okay, cool. I am going to get a battery on the charger for my driver here and turn that camera back on. Monochroma, you are correct. That is not a torque driver. I wish it was. That'd be cool, but I don't have one of those. Okay, there's the charger for that. Now I just want the spare battery, which is in the Fluke multimeter case. And the Fluke multimeter case is right here. Oh, the spare battery is not in here, but the transport cap for the spare battery is in here, so I was close. Yeah, I love that little handheld driver thing. It's one of my favorite tools. I love everything about it except the battery. It's the only thing that Fluke sells that uses the size of battery that it is. So it's that part is moderately annoying. It's not the worst thing in the world, but does not spark joy, the battery. Let's see here. This is all in the, pretty sure the battery's in the Milwaukee tool bag. Wherever the Milwaukee tool bag is, I will be right back. Or you know what, we'll just keep going. We'll see how long it lasts, and then if I need to, I'll throw it on the charger for a little bit. But I got the charger out, so that's good. The torque driver's in the hand, right? You know, you got that calibrated hand torque. Okay. Really glad for this handle right here. Or what I'm using as a handle. Okay, let's keep going down the chain. So we're going to be doing those later, because those got to be made only when those are in. So let's do K2A1. Okay, so those are the positive inputs. Trying to kind of untangle things a little bit here as I do this. Okay, well, I'm going to flip K1A1 around. I'll start manually making the click sounds when I remember to. You are correct. You are obliged to manually make the click sound. Wow, so much less tangle. Okay, so K1A1. K1A1's going to K1A1. Oh, sorry. Here, let me put a better bit on for that one. Is this a better bit? That's like the perfect bit. Click. So that's K1A1 made. Let's verify K1A1 goes to where we think it should, which is K314. Does that say 14 on it? That does say 14 on it. Oh, and then what's our drawing say? Okay, so K1A1 is made. Follow that wire back. That goes to 14. Okay, and then let's check our torque on 14. Different bit, of course. Well, it's not that bit. Do I have the bit here for it? I don't know if I have the bit here for it. Well, I know that I had the bit out for it, but I think I'm just gonna get a different screwdriver for that. Okay, let's go on another tool hunt. And I'm pretty sure this one's right here. Yep, it's right here. Doesn't this set just make you happy? Okay, I got a number 3 flathead. Click. Okay, K3. That wasn't the one I meant to check. I meant to check this one. K314. K314 is made and torque is checked. Okay, let's do K1A2. That's K222, which is not K2A2. I think K2A2 is one that we made, or K1A2. Yep, K1A2 is indeed one that we made. And this goes to the negative 24 volt rail. Yep, okay, cool. Let's actually do K122 first, because K122 is this lower one, so that way we can get it out of the way. Didn't even blur it. Okay, let's do K... Okay, let's do K122. Okay, so that's K122. So K122 is going to go on the bottom right here. Just kind of get this one pre-positioned on K221. I'm trying to keep everything kind of flat back here, because that's going to make the process of getting it to fit in this box a lot easier. That's actually why this whole thing started, is because like all these wires we got behind this piece of metal here, they used a piece of tape across all of those to keep them in keep them flat in the same position. And that was so that they could get it in the box easier. That's not really the whole thing. Like, they used to tape other places too. Okay, so K122. Let's get that made. And click. Twenty-one, 22. Okay, let's do the top side of that now. That's K220, K221. You know, if you don't think about the plasticizer and the plasticizer oil, then yeah, just add tape. Click. Oh, that's kind of rotating too much. I don't like that. Oh, that grabbed some plastic in there. I don't want that in there. Let's get that out. Back that out all the way, and I guess we're gonna get that piece of insulation back out. Please don't fall down further. Okay, we got it all out. Cool. How did that rotate 90? That's supposed to be sideways. Okay, gotta figure out how to get that part to rotate back. How did that part rotate? Well, we got the screw all the way out, so now we can rotate that. So this piece, where are we? Wrong way. So you see how that part that screw holds down, that actually holds the cable down? It's supposed to be a certain direction, and it was 90 degrees from the direction it was supposed to be. So we got it pulled out so we could put it back in the correct orientation. Okay, that's in the correct orientation now. Click. Cool. Okay, K221. K221 is made and torqued. Okay, let's do K222 now. K222. Oh, that was all wrapped around there weird. Okay, I think I'm happy with how that's routed relative to everything else. So verify this is what we think it is, K222. Yep, anyway, let's get that in. Oh, that one's rotated 90 degrees too. That's cool. So we need to pull that one out and do the same thing we did. Pull that back a little bit, grab our tweezers that we conveniently left right here. Pop that sucker out. There we go, and then put that sucker back in. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be K222. Let's get that under there. I want to rebend the end of that wire so it goes in a little bit better. And I want to clamp that strain relief on a little bit more. Okay, 222. Okay, there we go. How big of a monitor do you need to display this stream? Well, let's see here. Depends on what lens I'm using, right? If I'm using a macro lens, I think you need a slightly smaller monitor than if I'm using a lens with lower zoom. Click. Okay, so that's K222 is made and torqued. Okay, let's check our A1 line and neutral. So line, yeah, neutral, they're in the right spot. So let's just check torque on those. Okay, those are both made and torqued. Okay, let's do K2A1 now. So I'm starting with everything that just kind of goes between places on the DIN rail. And then once I've done that, I'm going to do everything that goes to like S2 or something. Because everything that goes like off this, once I start like bolting this on, I start to really constrain like where I can move things around. See the flood, like the flood water in Duval? Is Duval still flooded? Or what was it, Monroe? Or I think Duval and Monroe were both isolated by the flood. Oh, Snohomish. They're flooded too. Of course they're flooded too. Okay, so we're doing K2A1. Oh, hey, look, it's already right here. Okay, so K2A1 goes to K324. K324, that side is made and torqued. And then let's do the A1 side. Okay, happy with that routing. There's actually 2 wires that go here. Another one is this one, so we can get both these made at the same time. That works out really well. Huh, something's a little bit weird down there. What's going on? Oh. Part of that's broken. Little plastic pieces. It's not a critical piece for installation, but it is in the way. So let's see if we can get it out. So that's what we're looking at. You can see that little broken plastic piece down there. Okay, got it out. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so now that wire fits in correctly. K2A1. Click. So it's K2A1, K2A1, both those are made now. And we already got the other side of that cable. So let's do let's check the torque on X1 now. Okay, that's good. Might as well check X2 now, because we're here. And let's check that on the power supply side. Okay, made and torqued. Okay, let's do A2 now. K2, A2, because that's right here. Post-apocalyptic eye candy, isn't that fun? That's. Yeah, I saw the logjam. That was insane. Oh, Snoqualmie Falls is roaring right now. Okay, let's do K2, A2. I think K2, A2 is a new one. Yeah, K2, A2 is a new one. So what's this one that we made right here? Look at that. Okay, I've hit my arm on this twice now, so I'm going to put this part away. These are the optics drivers right here, and I don't want to keep bonking my elbow on them, so we're going to swing those back in. We can leave those partially out for now, that's fine. Okay, K2A2, let's go. So this, you see how this is covered? Oh, I didn't put the camera back yet. So you see how this one's covering up the lower one? That's why I did all the lower ones first. Why is it rotating like that? What's going on? Oh, I see. Let's use a slightly smaller bit. That should, well, actually, let's just go to a Phillips. That should eliminate that completely. I'll get that camera turned back on in just a second. K2A2. Okay. Let's put that flathead back on so we can get that torqued. Click. Okay, K2A2 is made, and let's find a good path for this that's gonna let us keep everything nice and flat. There we go. Minus 24. More than strong enough to put a vacuum pump on it. More than strong enough. It's pretty rigidly built. The Tektronix ones usually are too. Well, I mean, it does depend on the specific one, but they seem pretty good. Click. Okay, so that was A2 to... Well, let's put these where they actually are. Okay, that's where everything actually is. Or going to be in some cases. Okay, so that's been done, that's been done. Cool, let's do K1A2 now. I think you could leave a vacuum pump on this cart. So it's kind of cool the way it works. There's this like a pivot here, but then when it's flat, it's just like sitting on top of the post here. So it's pretty rigid. I can carefully tilt it up maybe. You can kind of see a little bit of the tilt there. I don't want to do it too much right now. These are kind of tightened down right now, so. Okay, K1A2. Okay, let's get K2A or K1A2 in. Making sure that's right where we want her. Click. Okay, that's K1A2 made and torqued. And that other side's gonna go to the negative power supply rail, so let's find a good route for that. Let's go. So here, we can jump all the way over before. It does seem easier to do that way. Okay, that should be the last of our negative 24 volt connections we need to make. Minus 24. Okay, so that's the negative side made. Okay, what's the other pink one go to? Okay, that's the power supply for this. Let's go ahead and check that now. Would have been slightly easier to do that just a little bit earlier before I put that wire in. In fact, I had to take that one out to do that. Have a good night, Maria. See you on the next stream. Yeah, don't let the water in Washington carry you away. Or in Snohomish. Okay, let's get that backed out. Oh, that's a plug. That's cool. I didn't realize that. Okay, well, the one behind is torqued. So let's put that back in. That's neat. I did not realize that was a plug. Huh, cool. Click. Okay, let's see if that is indeed going to A2. Let's change how that's drawn a little bit so that's clear that that goes to A2. It does indeed go to A2. Yeah, talk to the contactor manufacturers about that. Okay, A2 is made. So that is all of our negatives. Okay, we're getting pretty close here. We got a lot of these done. Okay, let's do, what do we want to do now? What's not done? Yeah, I don't want to do that one yet. That one's going to constrain everything a lot, so we're going to leave that off for now. Okay, let's check. Let's check 13 and 23. A2, 13, 23. It's not A2, that's K3. Why did I write A2? I can do better K than that. There we go. Okay, so we're doing 13, 23. Hey, these are removable too. Okay, 23 is made. Let's check 24 over here. I even already did that. 23 is made. K3, 23. And that bundle should also have K3, 13 in it, which it does. We can check the torque on that. Yep. And then both of these should go around to the positive side of the power supply, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, they both go to the positive side. So let's check the torque on those two. One of those was slightly loose. Not bad, though. It was probably still okay. Okay, so let's put these where they actually are, which is on the top two. I don't really know which one is which. So that one goes there. That one probably goes there. As does that one. Okay, so that is where everything goes now. And then we have checked both of these, and we've also checked both of these. Not a lot left to check here. And then we did this one too. No, we did that one. And maybe we didn't do that one. No, we did not do that one. Let's do that one. Okay, A1, is A1 good? A1 is good. And then let's check the positive side of that. Pull that out, check that. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's do S34, which we did one side of already, I think. Yeah, we did one side of. K2, 22, okay, then let's follow that over, check the other side. And that goes to 34. Yep, that goes to 34. Okay, 34 is made and torqued. Okay, then 33 is going to take us up to this, or 33, K3, 33, K3, S33 is going to take us up to the switch. So 33, that takes us up to the switch. That goes to S2, 3. And we are indeed on S2, 3. Check torque. Yep, that's good. Take a look inside that to make sure we're clamped on the right spot. And I can confirm we are clamped on the right spot. Okay, let's do S24. Is that their last one? Because I really, really would like to do that one last. Okay, actually, we have some that aren't on the drawing. It's the ones that go off to our switches. So we're just going to check the torque on those. So that's 21, check. Ah, that is torqued. Ooh, I don't like S22 here. We're going to remake, I think we're going to re-terminate S22. Plug that back in. Just gonna post some photos to the Discord and turn the camera back on, and then we'll deal with S22, and we'll probably add those to the drawing too, actually. Always good to stand up after being sitting like that for a long time. Okay, getting these posted. Okay. We're doing pretty good. That's looking a lot, it's looking a lot more together than it was when we started. Appreciate that a lot. Okay, so we're taking a look at S22 now. Yeah, I don't like that crimp. Is it recoverable? Maybe. Yeah, I think we can just tighten that down and get that in a lot better shape. I don't want those pliers and these pliers. Maybe just these pliers. Okay, there we go. Cool. Let's pull this stray strand out because I don't want that to poke anything. Subwoofer as a lab jack indeed. It's been working out pretty well. How have your Haskris adventures been going? Okay, do we want to add all three of these plugs to the drawing? For the sake of completion? Ah, it's tempting, isn't it? It's tempting. Should we? Should we not? I mean, I guess we should. Seems annoying. Ah, we're gonna leave those off. Those are already in. No, the reason we did it is because those are basically in one of the drawings that we got off the website. So we're good. Okay, let's do K3S 22. Okay, that's torqued. We already checked A2. Let's check S11. And S11's torqued. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay. Cool. All those are done. And then S12, S21, are those used? Oh, those are used. Okay, we will go ahead and check torque on those. S21 is torqued, and we already torqued S11. And S12. S12 is also used. Those are all the ones that go off to the rest of the EMO circuit. Look at that. Okay, the only one that's left is the most annoying. In fact, I think that CL major hand stride, that's unfortunate. It's a couple drops on the inside of your gloves, and it's just going to hold it in contact with the skin the whole time. Cool, so I think that we have now gotten to the point where we are going to reinstall this thing. Actually, let's check our drawing one more time. Let's just be sure. Dun, 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 dun. Leaving that off for now until we reassemble fully. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, cool. This is ready to go back in. So this is gonna be fun to get back in. So lower y'all back down here. Because you all are inside the camera is how I think about it, right? Okay, so this needs to go in there, and we need to, while doing that, keep all of these flat. And we're not using a piece of tape to keep them flat this time. We have found out what that does, and we don't appreciate it. I see why it's tempting to use tape though, because this feels like it's going to be real annoying to do. Although we've got, nothing's like crossing on behind here, and things were crossing last time, so I think that made it a lot thicker. And this doesn't have to be perfect for it to fit now because we got rid of so much of the crossing. We also haven't heat shrunk our cable, our labels yet. I think we're gonna do that while it's on the outside. Let me go get a heat gun. Chat, it's amazing how small ones and zeros are. Okay, heat gun, let's see here. So this is my smaller heat gun. I keep it around basically for heat shrink, so. It's only 2.8 amps of current draw, so it's really not a huge load like a lot of other heat guns are, but you know, it's enough for heat shrink. This is one of the most satisfying parts when you heat shrink the labels down, I think. Come on, cable rail. There we go. So let's get all of our labels lined up like we want them to be. Give you all a really good view of the satisfying part. There we go. Let's do the other ones on this side. There we go. Cool. Isn't that satisfying? Isn't it amazing how heat shrink material is manufactured? I love that heat shrink. I love that making heat shrink involves a particle accelerator. That's just great. Oh, welcome back to the stream, Maria. Okay, got all that shrunk. And then last one is this one, but I don't quite know the orientation that's going to be in yet. So I want to wait till I get that, like, this is the last one. And I don't know quite what the orientation is going to be on this for when it's installed here. So I want to know that so that I can make it so that the heat shrink faces out, because I think that looks better. Okay, so now that everything's shrunk, we can go ahead and start the process of finagling this thing in. You know what? I don't like this. I just realized something. I am gonna fix because I don't like it. Why did they do it this way? Why? Okay. So like, oh man. Okay. Oh, I'm not leaving. Okay, so these are the circuit breakers, right? If I touch right here, I'm not going to shock myself. If I touch right here, I'm not going to shock myself. If I touch right here, I might get kind of close to shocking myself, but you know, the conductors are like a little bit back up inside at least. But, I just noticed this. If we come over to the DC power supply, the 24-volt power supply, which is this green box right here, you see the way they did the strain relief right here, where it clamps on to the conductors? That's live AC, that like metal bit there. So all of this is like relatively touch safe-ish, except for those things like sticking out there, like ready to shock you. Like that actually feels like relatively exposed line voltage, 240 volts AC right there, compared to like basically everything else on this thing. Like that's like out front and just like sticking out. I don't like that. We're gonna get some more heat shrink and we're gonna take care of that because we don't like being shocked. So let me go get some heat shrink for that because just no. That's a no. Yeah, that's a no. Okay. I know I've got some heat shrink in that toolkit, but I'm just gonna go get the whole kit, I think. Unless, of course, I have all this clear heat shrink of the size that I want in that kit, in which case I do have all the clear heat shrink of the size I want in that kit, I think. Well, actually, let's use black and white heat shrink. Okay, so that's gonna be this bin. Oh, that one's kind of low. There's probably some in this bag, I think. It looks like there is. So there certainly is the black, but there's not really the clear. Okay. Well, that's some cheap shit. I don't like the cheap shit for line voltage work. You can just put black on both of them. Just gonna be a little piece on the end. Although I don't want to put black on the white one. I don't want people to be getting confused about my label or getting confused about what conductor is what. Do I have an in-between size? Let's see here. Well, I have yellow in the size I want. At least of what I'm like holding right now. I could find more. Maybe we'll do red. I think I have red in the size. I have one tiny piece of red. We'll do yellow. Yellow's used as a label in other places, so it won't like stand out as like marking it as something different, because it's not different. It's just for safety. Let's grab some flush cutters. Is that going to be small enough? Oh, that's going to be more than small enough. Cut that a little bit long. Cut that. Well, it's going to shrink, right? So. I mean, it's going to shrink more in the diameter than length, but it'll shrink a little bit in length. There we go. That's a lot more touch safe now. I feel safer already. Look at that. Much more safe. Okay, let's do this one now. The length on this one's a little bit less critical. There's just a label I was trying not to block on this one. And there's a label on this one too, but it's a little bit further down. So it's actually, the label on this is really far down in the heat shrink, so. And kind of cut a little bit of an angle in the end of it. so that it'll shrink kind of just right with how the cable's bent and whatnot. And if I ended up cutting it too much, we'll redo it. Okay, a little bit too long, but we'll trim off what we don't need. Okay, here we go. That's exactly the length we want now. Let's get that in there. Much safer. Okay, cool. Much, much safer. Okay, shall we? Let's close up our heat shrink container so we don't kick it and just yeet those all over the place. Okay. Well, let's get some pictures of her work, right? Okay, those are all flat, right? And I think they're going to stay flat even when we put it in. Well, say goodbye to the back of this. I kind of hope I don't see it ever again. It's been real. Okay. How do we want to do this? Do we want to make these connections now or after it's installed? I think we want to make these after it's installed. That's just going to be easier. So maybe let's back those up out of the way a little bit. Kind of move those down. Oh, I can already tell this is going to be fun. I can already tell this is going to be fun. Come on. Stay out of the way, please. What's the over-under on this thing staying up and out of the way? Probably not very good. I think I've decided I don't appreciate the construction of this box. That's my decision. Starting to feel some resistance as I get the wires to bend into the box. Oh, come on, come on. Feels really close to wanting to go in all the way. Why does it want to go in the rest of the way? Okay, oh, it feels really close to being in the right spot. Just move it back and forth a few times and that'll kind of settle all the wires down. Oh, there we go. Okay. Feels pretty much how we want it, I think. Oh, we forgot one piece. Forgot the clamp thing. Okay, what side does the clamp go on? I think it goes on this very end here. I think we can put this in still. Pretty sure we can still put this in. Let me check the pictures, make sure I'm putting it in the right spot. Where are we going here? Way back to before I lost my sanity. Yep, it goes on the end. Okay, that's good, because we can still put it on. Always gotta be one little piece, right? Always gotta be one little piece. Phoenix contact, too. Okay. Okay. Okay, got it snapped in? Yep, got it snapped in. Awesome. Okay, let's... Oh, that doesn't feel right. It's not in the right spot. That's why it's being so weird. Well, it's not the only reason it's being so weird. It's being so weird because I think monochrome put it in an excellent way. Ugh. Come on, come on. Okay, that feels pretty good. It's kind of, it's like seesawing back and forth. So there's a high point in the middle, and that's probably because the cables are piling up on each other. Okay, let's see if we can see what's going on. Oh, there's something that's not right. Okay, let's see if we can pivot this out without moving the wires very much. Because if I can do it that way, okay. I bet it's those screws right there. There's these two screws right here. See these screws right here? I bet that's the high point I'm dealing with. Okay, so if I push on the bottom, I can push it to the left some. I think that last pivot in kind of moves that one cable at the back to one side. So we'll, yep, it is to one side. So we'll just reach back there and push that one out of the way. And I think that'll get us home. Oh, yeah, there we go. That got it. Cool. Oh. Okay, let's try and get some screws in it now. That was fun. Y'all enjoy that? Y'all enjoy my suffering? Okay. Hey, we got a screw in. Yay! I can move on with the rest of my life. Maybe, hopefully. Okay, we got 2 screws in. Now for the harder ones. Oh, these ones are going to be a lot more fun back there. Isn't this great? Isn't this amazing? Isn't this so much fun? Oh, man. I think I just gotta take it back out. God damn it. Okay. I think I have to take it back out to make these wires down here go in because of how they're designed. Because the whole thing's like closer to the bottom of the box than the top of the box. I was like, look at the top of the box. I was like, oh, I have plenty of room to make connections on the contactors on the top of the box. I don't have plenty of room to make connections with the contactors on the bottom of the box. So that's going to be about 2 or 3 minutes from now, me problem. And I will be right back. I'm going to go get a snack or something. Okay, small snack procured. Some hold music, yeah. An organic fruit and vegetable farmer. I like microscopes. So part of me enjoys the suffering of reassembling this box in an interesting way. I like the challenge. I like the manipulating physical objects to get them back into a box like this. It is fun. So like, I want to visually inspect the DC power supplies, and the DC power supply box I already know is like super not easy to open. It's gonna suck. The rest of it seems pretty good. DC power supply box, not so much. Okay, let's see if I can get these in without pulling it out. Oh, we're good. We can get these in. Oh. Okay. Very glad that I can get these in without taking it the rest of the way apart. Where'd my bits go? There's my bits. You know it's good when freeze-dried something, I'm not sure. Not the healthiest snack, but that's okay. Okay. It's my favorite way to work on a microscope. Okay, let's do hot first. It's gonna make things marginally easier, I think. Maybe, I'm not actually certain of that. Neutral first might be a good idea. Come on. Come on. Can do it. Did I open that up far enough? I think I did. I just hope that my suffering is entertaining. As long as that's the case, we're all good, right? There we go. That's what we want to see. Okay, so that's only partially torqued. Let's get the other one in, then we'll get them both torqued. If you don't see me fully torque these, let me know, okay? I mean, they're not torqued. I haven't marked them as torqued in my diagram either yet, so. There we go. We did it. Yay. Whoa. Excuse me. Okay, let's get these torqued now. Okay, that's torqued, and that's torqued. Love to see it. Okay, now we got to make L1, L2. So we're going to do contactor in the back on these ones, I think. Okay, so what's going on with these? So this one, power comes in and it goes through this contactor, but it also goes to the circuit breakers here. So we've got two conductors that go into each of these. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, okay. I'm seeing that one of the strain reliefs in the back has moved from where I wanted it to be, I think. It has. So we've got, as a result, why didn't they just make that one longer? So we've got conductor touching, not interconductor, we've got insulator, not anti-chafe touching the metal now, which is what I wanted to avoid. So let's see if we can reach back in there. Oh, it's almost where we want. Okay, yeah. We can reach that with the forceps and get it pulled up to right where we want it. Allergic to success, yeah, pretty much. Okay, we got the strain relief, or not strain relief, the anti-chafe. We got the anti-chafe right where we want it now. Doing great. Okay. Is this still gonna go back to where we want it? Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, so let's get these wires in now. Okay, so we're gonna do circuit breakers in the back, power feeds in the front. So that's circuit breakers. Hey, they both just fell into place. They knew right where they wanted to be. No, we're gonna do circuit breakers in the front because of how short power feeds are, I think. I reserve the right to change my mind. Yeah, we're doing circuit breakers in the front. Okay, we got those in. Let's get them torqued. Click. Click. Are you satisfied with my click sounds? Am I doing that right? I'm almost done. I'll move the lights. That'll make it slightly better. Oh, I have to pull the release. Look at that. Improved lighting. Right at the end. Okay, L1, L2, made and torqued. Okay, let's do K1NC21. Okay, let's figure out the orientation this is going to be in. Okay, I can see the orientation this is going to be in now. So we're going to heat shrink this down. Okay, let's get this set up now. Okay, that's in as far as it should be. Sure I don't clamp on any installation. I'm not. Okay, let's get it torqued. Click. Okay, X121. I think that's our last connection. Come on. You can do it. There you go. I guess we haven't checked terminal 4 on the switch. We can do that real quick. Okay, S24, that is the other end of this cable. That's why we haven't checked it yet. Click. We didn't check these. This plug is actually screw terminals, so we should check that. Okay. How? Okay, I had to pull these out to do this. That's fine, it's not that bad. Oh, these are Posi drive. Posi drive, I haven't used that this stream. Okay, we gotta pull the connector out to get to it. Is that the right size? That is not the right size. Is this the right size? Yep, that's the right size. Poxy drive and Phillips, not the same thing. So they tapped the plastic. That one was a little bit looser than the others, but it wasn't bad. Okay, that one's good. Let's try not to cross thread our threads that are in plastic here. Okay, that one's done. So these just have jumpers inside. So each of these could be an EMO button, right? But there's no EMO button there, so there's just a set of 2 jumpers in here instead. Okay. How are these looking? So looking all right. Looking all right. Okay, let's get the torque checked on them. Yeah, that was a little bit loose. Not bad though, not bad. Looser than all the others. I'm very careful not to pull these threads out of the plastic. Oh, that one is already stripped. Dang. Okay. Oh, the other one wasn't, so that's good. Okay, that's 2 out of 3 done. Let's get number 3 done. This screw head is not on straight. Interesting. What's going on here? The screw is bent. Well, it was holding, so it should be okay. Okay, let's get that backed out, and then let's check on these. It's a bit loose. That one's tight. That's tight. And that's tight. Really inconsistent torques on these. Well, what, how, what? The torques, or? I mean, it's not, okay, it's not that inconsistent, just a little bit. I can tell, you know. Okay, that's 3 out of 3 checked. Oh, man. Is that it, except for these 2 more screws? Oh, man. Oh, boy. Man, Zeiss EMO boxes, not even once, you know? Okay, let's get these last 2 screws in. I don't know how that screw got bent. It wasn't that bent, just a little bit. Maybe it was made that way. I kind of think it was made that way. Okay, let's get this put in. This looks a lot, I think this looks a lot neater than when I started out. Okay, just getting that in a little bit, so I got enough slack to get the other one in. Got that balanced on the screwdriver there. You know, sometimes the autofocus on this camera is really amazing and snappy. Other times, not so much. Right? Oh, there could absolutely be something that's supposed to go at the very back and I could not realize it. That's entirely possible. No, I dropped the screw off. It's okay, we got it back out. There's a conductor in the way. What is this getting stuck on? Okay, that one's torqued down. That one's torqued down. That one's down, and okay, got them all down. Okay, I do need to put a new zip tie on here to keep that ferrite. No, I don't actually, because it just gets held in by the thing there, I think. I'm pretty sure. These did have some zip ties on them. I'm kind of okay with them not having zip ties though. I think I actually like that better because the wires are all going to kind of sit in slightly different places, and that'll be less strain overall, I think. Okay. Okay, you can get these glands tightened back down. Okay. Let's get that camera back up. We'll throw a zip tie on that. Okay, let's get the nice zip ties out. What color do we want? Orange? Let's do orange. I like orange. Got our zip tie to hold that in place in. I could do one zip tie right here, but I don't want to. I do, however, want to get that to stay like that. So I think I will actually do a zip tie for the sake of that one right there. Boop. Okay, let's bring that back down and through. And then I gotta bring the gland that seals it back up. Ah, that thing's annoying to slide. There's the rubber seal on that cable gland down there. I gotta slide it all the way back up the cable. Come on, come on. There we go. Got him. Okay, let's get that gland tightened down. The top of it's loose. Okay, that's in. We're getting close here, chat. We're getting real close here, chat. Oh, I forgot to mark off that I did actually check terminal 4. I read on this. This actually is not NC. This is DC. Okay. And it is NC. It's not used, but that is what that is. So I think we did it, chat. I think we actually managed to do it. Isn't that great? Doing something? Let's turn these breakers on before we forget to do otherwise. Let's put these back down to how they were before. These were actually kind of shoved in here like this. Yeah, these were like this. That's what I thought. It's just a little box. How bad can it be? It can, no. I do appreciate all of these experiences because I know how I'm not going to build a microscope. It's not like this box. Not at all like this box. I'm gonna check torque on the circuit breaker now. I think they're hex heads down there, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Cool. That was good. That's good. Why can't I get down there on that one? Oh, is it that gland? Okay, we're in. That's good. That one was a little bit looser than all the others, but it was fine. It was good. Okay. So when we bring the scope up, we're going to be checking the health of this power supply. But so we're going to be opening this box back up. But you know what? I think I want to close the box for now. I don't want to think about this box anymore. I've had enough of this box. This box is taken up a lot of my life. A lot of my life has gone into this box. Not a lot. A certain portion of my life has gone into this box. That's okay. It's important. I don't like how it's built, but it's important, so. Just don't do this to people when you design things. We lost battery on the camera. Okay, we'll throw a new battery in that in a sec here. Okay, let's get a new battery in this camera and then get back to closing this box up. Seal the curse back in its tomb. I agree. That's what we're gonna do. There we go. Okay, camera's back up. Let's get this battery on the charger. Well, for those of you just joining us, we're finally closing this little box of horrors up. It's not really a little box of horrors anymore. It's just a little box of pain now. Much pain. So much pain in such a small box. If you ever are building something, you get the temptation to shove wires this tight in a box like an asshole. You know, I understand. Sometimes it might be necessary. Sometimes it's the project box you ordered. Sometimes it's the project you're learning on. That's okay. But just like, think twice about it, you know? Don't be a dick like this. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do it. We're gonna seal it up. We're doing it. We're closing it up. And we're gonna close it up without pinching any wires. This box is not easy to close even. It's so full of shit. Oh, really? That is tight on that side too? Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this joke. This thing barely fits in here. This is funny. So that's the switch right there. Look at how tight a switch is between, oh, no, no, no. Please stop drooping. Look how tight that switch is between the side of the box and the contact. It's just like, it's rubbing on both sides. That's great. That's amazing. I love this so much. Come on, please fit. Please fit. Oh, come on. What? What? What am I getting caught on here? Certainly getting caught on something. Like, is this gonna get in the way of like the circuit breakers actuating? Can't believe that that's an actual concern I'm having. You guys, wires got to go on the other side. Otherwise we could theoretically have issues with circuit breakers actuating. Is that, am I sure? No, it's clear. It's clear. It's clear. We're good. Okay, what are we hitting? Nope, we're touching the breakers. We're not touching the handles, but we're touching the breakers. Okay, we got to move that wire. Okay, flip that to this side. I don't even mind this wire on this side. This is pretty much just as good. Click. Okay. Okay. Come on. Yeah, the issue with the circuit breakers ended up being the one of the wires between the switch and the circuit breaker. Like that was enough to make it so that there wasn't enough clearance to get this panel on. Look, I did it. It's on. It's on. It's on. It's on. Oh my God, it's on. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna take it off a little bit. I want a picture of the circuit breaker clearance to show how the wires have to be on that. It's on, and I'm gonna take it off because I want a picture. This is typical of me. Look at this. Look. It's on. It's closed. The box. It's closed. Finally. Yes. Look what we did, chat. We closed the box. The box, chat. The box is closed. Oh, thank God. Okay. Holy shit. Fuck that box. That sucked. We did it. We got the box closed. Can't wait to hit that button. It's gonna feel good. A lot of work went into that button. Okay, part of me feels like wrapping the stream up there. Let's just take a look at what's coming up. Okay, so there's a whole circuit board back there. I don't really know how. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Okay. So this whole box comes off. And then once this box is off, a box on the other side of this box comes off. So if we want to get into the rest of this box, there's I found more tape. I found more tape. Oh, it's not on anything that should be important, but I feel like that's a sign that I need to open this box up. I like to get my eyes on every single circuit board when I'm working on a microscope like this. Because if I don't see every circuit board, how can I say that that I know what's going on, you know? Okay, what's it gonna take to get this box out? We could just go for it. That's always an option, going for it. full send. Just do it. Just do it right now. What's cable strain looking like? Or cables. Okay, I got a few cables I would need to undo. I can do that. Okay, what do we think, chat? Pull another box out tonight? If I do it right, I only have to pull off 4 screws. Or 8. And I could, okay. So I can basically, I can take this whole unit, like this whole unit comes off. And then with it off, there's like an AC distribution board on this side that's got like relays and stuff on it. And there's the same gray tape on the outside of the box. So that makes me want to see what's, that kind of makes me want to see what's on the inside of the box. So, this is silly. I'm kind of thinking that I should have just taken this box off from the get-go, because then I could have worked this on the bench instead of like sitting on the ground. So that's a fun realization to come to, is that this box actually isn't that hard to just pull out of the scope entirely. So I kind of feel like that might be the move here. Okay. To me, that kind of puts this into next stream territory. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm thinking pulling the box off is next stream territory. Y'all just wait until we're opening this box up. Because when we open this box up, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, 15, 20, 30, I don't know, like standoffs to take off, and then like 10, 20, 30, somewhere in there, I don't know, more screws to take off to get like the DC power supply open. So that's going to be fun. But I really want to look at it. Really want to get eyes on whatever's going on in there. I get the impression that this is a field swapped unit. Like you're not supposed to open this thing up in the field, but that's not my style, apparently. So we're gonna be opening this up. Oh, look, it's missing screws on the hinges. That's fun. I love that. So that I do believe that this DC box has been swapped before. So my understanding is basically that if one supply dies, you just swap the box. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. What are you all doing? Getting food or something, hopefully. Okay, well, I think if I'm going to pull that box off, I'm going to reorient the microscope. So I can reorient the microscope right now, or we can start the next stream out of reorienting the microscope. I think we'll start the next stream out of reorienting the microscope. I think we're going to wrap this stream up. Let's wrap this stream up. Look at that. Sensor stabilization wobble. Isn't that fun? Well, that was fun. How are we doing? There we go. Now we're threading you in. Hi. Too low. Just right. Cool. Well, that was a fun stream. We got the emo box closed. The emo box is closed. I can't believe that we finally got the emo box closed. It's amazing that the box is closed. Look at it. It's so closed. Okay, so basically, we're going to be pulling off like just the entirety of the AC distribution box next stream so that we can get to the AC distribution circuit board. Get eyes on that, make sure nothing's toasty, make sure there's no dust on it, make sure the relays all look like they're in good shape. I want to get my eyes on anywhere that there's AC going to, at least on this thing. And we're going to look at the rest of the circuit boards too. But that is a tomorrow me problem. Right now, we're going to wrap this stream up. If you all got any questions, now's your time to throw them in the chat. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Had a great time getting the emo box closed. And I do mean that. I did enjoy it. That was fun. I like a challenge. So, anyways, I think with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. You all have a lovely evening, and we'll pick this up next time. Where's my button? There's my button.